Fields getting ready for Daytona Day tomorrow and celebrate the Daytona 500. Hope you are too. It's a whole new season with some very new rules and procedures.
2017 is a new era in NASCAR, where the world's best racing gets even better. While each race remains the same length, they'll now feature 3 stages. The length of each stage depends on the track, but one thing remains consistent all season. A stage win could be the difference between winning or losing a championship. Points will be awarded to each of the top 10 finishers of the stage, and the stage winner wins an additional playoff bonus point. The more playoff points you accumulate, the higher you're seated in the playoffs. A stage flag will fly at the end of each stage, followed by a caution flag setting up the next stage. Drivers will have the option to pit before the next stage, but enter at your own risk. For stage 2, the same rules apply, and the goal remains the same: finish first. When the checkered flag flies at the end of the final stage, the race is over. Points will be awarded to all race vehicles. And to the winner goes the biggest prize: a spot in the playoffs and 5 additional playoff bonus points. Bottom line, the most exciting racing in the entire world just got even more thrilling. Buckle up.
So there's a lot to absorb and understand there. I think I'm going to take that bucket of playoff points and let's discuss that post-race and see where those stack up. But to me, I think the easiest analogy I can make is that the end of a stage is like the end of a quarter in football.
Yeah.
The game really doesn't change. You're going to swap ends, and whoever had the ball still has the ball. You can change players in and out, and play resumes. So when they wave that caution at the end of the stage, they're going to open pit road. You can come in, get fuel tires, come back out, line up, and we're going to restart the race again. Yes, we'll award some points, but it really doesn't change the complexion of the race. We're still going to have one checkered flag and one winner. But the strategy coming to those stage ends, that's what's going to be really interesting.
If you compare us, Mike, to other sports, we're the only sport that doesn't reward the performance within the race, within the game. Just like you said, the end of a quarter. This does that. This, to me, rewards your performance throughout the race, not just at the end. And I think what it's going to do is create more strategy play in the crew chief. So what's that do? Puts more pressure on the drivers to make sure that strategy plays out for them.
Yeah, remember in past year where we would have drivers that would ride around in the back of the pack at the 500 and come on at the end? I don't think we're going to see that.
No, but here's what I want to see is stages and the guy standing in victory circle. I want to see what these crew chiefs are willing to do, what these drivers are willing to do in those stages, but also think about, I want to win the race.
Right.
Because all points aside, everything aside, win, and you're still in.
But here's what I love.
That's important.
Here's what I love about this, though. The top teams, I think, that feel like we have a shot at winning the Daytona 500 or Atlanta or whatever race it may be, they're going to be playing one strategy, and those that maybe don't feel like they have as good of a shot, they're going to do the exact opposite and maybe take advantage of that conservative approach.
And we get to see how it all unfolds.
See, Mike, we got 5 races here to start the season with. We go to Daytona, then we go to Atlanta, then we go to Vegas, then we go to Phoenix, and we go to Fontana. 5 pretty different racetracks, different length races, different stages. I think by the time we see these 5 races, when we get done with the West Coast swing, we can say, here's how you do it. Because right now it's kind of guesswork. You know, here's how I think you do it, and here's how they might do it, and here's how they may do it.
All right, we'll see how it sorts out, and we'll take you through it as we go. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is back on track. What do they change, Vince?
Well, they've really been working to try to diagnose this vibration, making different changes. And you see the crew member, they brought a new drive shaft and put it in the 88 Chevrolet. And the good news is that fixed the vibration. The words from Junior on the radio to his team, smooth as glass. So they put in the extra work, they diagnosed the issue, problem solved for Dale Earnhardt Jr.
You notice that drive shaft was painted white. That's a rule from 20 or so years ago. Something fell out on the track at Daytona and Talladega. They couldn't tell if it was a piece of rubber padding or if it was something really dangerous like a drive shaft. And since that day, all drive shafts have to be painted white.
Yeah, and you're really changing the drive shaft out in a race car is not an extensive process. It's a lot like your passenger car. And you're going to see right here, it has to be made of steel. And all you have to do, it slides up in the transmission right there, and you have a couple of sets of U-bolts right there. Now, one thing I've also found, sometimes flipping the drive shaft 180 degrees will take the vibration. It appears that Greg Ive and that group, they decided, let's just change the drive shaft. And the good news is, with 20 minutes to go in happy hour, Dale Jr.'s happy.
And Larry, I think they actually switched it 180 degrees and tried it, and it didn't fix the problem. That's why they went back out. Now they decided, let's just change the drive shaft. Problem solved, like you said.
And that may or may not cause you a problem in the race. Most likely it wouldn't, but it's an annoyance.
Yeah.
It's an annoyance. It's a distraction. I can't tell you about how important it is to get rid of all those distractions.
Focus, right? That's all we keep talking about. You want to be focused on one thing, winning.